In this video, we're going to learn more about using commands by controlling the JackBord BASICs user LEDs from the command line. We'll finish by using the pulse command to pulse the user LED on for a short time. This is the fourth video in a set of 10 for people beginning their journey with the JackBord BASIC. For a full list of videos in this series, search the TMT code shown in the middle of the screen at jb.works, or the TMT code shown at the bottom of the screen to go to the JackBord BASICs homepage. For this video, you're going to need the JackBord BASIC, a USB-C cable, a PC or a Chromebook, and either the Google Chrome web browser or the Microsoft Edge web browser. The user LEDs on the JackBord BASIC are these 5 RGB LEDs here. And the reason they're called RGB LEDs is because you can change the colors of them from the command line. To control the user LEDs, we use the command here, ln_s, where the capital N is the number of the user LED we want to control from 1 to 5, and the capital S is the state, and 0 is off and 1 is on. So for example, if we wanted to turn on user LED number 1, at the command line, we would type L1_1, and then to turn it off, it would be L1_0. Okay, I'm here on the command page, and in the lower right hand corner over here, we can see the JackBord BASIC. So let's just type the hi command to just make sure the LEDs are working, and they're great. So as I said earlier, I want to turn on user LED number 1, so it's L1_1, press enter, and it turns on. And then to turn it off, I press L1_0 and press enter. So for example, if you wanted to control user LED number 3, you would type in L3_1, and number 3 turns on, and then L3_0 to turn it off. Next, we're going to learn how to turn them all on and all off at the same time. So to do this, use the LON command, press enter, and that turns all the user LEDs on at the same time. And likewise, to turn them all off, you go L off. So L on turns all the user LEDs on, and L off turns them all off. Next, we're going to change the color of an individual user LED. To do this, we use the same command as earlier, but instead of having S as the last argument, we have C. And C is basically a color number between 0 and 15. If you look on the right hand side, you can see there's a table of colors. And so number 1 was dim white, and 0 is off. So previously we used a state, which was 0 or 1. And if you look at the color table, all we were doing was actually setting the color of the LED. So for example, to set user LED number 1 to red, we would use L1_3. And to set the color of user LED number 1 to blue, we would use L1_11. Okay, we're back on the command page, so now we'll actually use some of these commands. So remember, L1_3 will make the first LED red because it's L1. And then if I want to make LED number 1 blue, I go L1_11. Now some other ones, if I wanted to make LED number 2, so L2, and I want to make that one yellow, so I put 7, and it becomes yellow. And likewise, if I want to go L3_9, that's going to make the third LED light green. So by using the L command, with the first argument being the number of the LED that you want to control, and the second one is the color you want to set. So finally, if I wanted to make the fifth user LED purple, I would go L5_15. Now we're going to learn how to set the color of all of the user LEDs at the same time. And we do this using the LON command followed by the color that we want to set. And the color is between 0 and 15, where 0 is off. So for example, LON_3 makes all the user LEDs red, and LON_11 makes all of the user LEDs blue. So I'm back at the command line, and if I type LON_3, all the user LEDs will go red. And if I type LON_11, they will all go blue. And then finally, if I wanted to make them all purple, I would type L on space 15. Now remember earlier we learnt you can type the L off command to turn all of the user LEDs off. You can also do this by typing L on space 0, and that turns them all off. Finally, for this video, we're going to learn how to use the pulse command. What the pulse command does is let you turn on a user LED or some other pin for a set number of milliseconds. So the first argument is the LN, which is the user LED that we want to control, for example L1, L2. And then the last argument, the D, is the delay in milliseconds from 1 to 60,000, which is how long we want the LED to turn on for, and then it will turn off. So for example, pulse space L1 space 500 will turn user LED number 1 on for half a second. Pulse L1 space 5000 will turn on user LED number 1 for 5 seconds, and then it will turn it off. And remember that 1 second contains 1000 milliseconds. So we're back on the command page, so let's try this out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pulse user LED number 1 on for half a second or 500 milliseconds, and there it goes. And then we're going to add another 0, and it should go on for 5 seconds. And there we go. And next we're going to turn user LED number 3 on for 1 second. So this is how you can use the pulse command to turn a user LED on for a set period of milliseconds and then have it turn off. In the next video, we're going to learn about daisy chains and delays. To get to this video straight away, simply visit jb.works and search the TMT code shown on the screen. For more information, visit jb.works.